right, babies. It's that time again. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. How's your eternal practice going? It's both easy and not easy. Oh, yeah. God's paradoxes, honey. There's always a yes and a no. An easy and a hard. Oh, yeah. Easy and a difficult. Soft and a hard. Light and a dark. So what am I talking about? I'm saying Jesus says we have to pick up our cross daily to follow him. Doesn't sound easy. Then he says, take my yoke upon you because my burden is light. Oh yeah, baby. So what is he trying to say? He's trying to say you suffer the pain of loss when you give up your will, which you're programmed to feel like you need, to take on his will, which is the perfect path to self-actualization and peace and benefit to others. And the easy part is when you learn to submit, then you're no longer feeling the pain of loss, because the gift is so immeasurable that you're not experiencing pain or loss. All you're experiencing is joy and gain. Oh yeah, baby. Just like that. I'm telling you, honey. I'm telling you. And that's how you know if you're lined up with the Word of God when you're following the Bible. If you can measure the progress that I just delineated, then you know that's the Word of God, especially if you have a pattern of experiencing it in the way that you are perceiving it and applying yourself to it. You know, anytime you feel like you're banging your head against the wall, it's pretty good sign that that's not it, honey. No. That's not what he means when he says, take my cross and pick up your cross and follow me. You know, there's no useless pain. There's needful pain, and what's the term? It escapes me for the moment. We'll get back to it. So yeah, that's it, baby. That's all of life. It's life itself, because you're measuring growth. When you're measuring growth, that's life. You know, like a blade of grass or a puppy learning to let you know when he's got to go outside. That's growth, baby. Oh yeah, you don't want to be soiling indoors. That's not a pleasure to God when you've been believing in him supposedly for your life. It's time to move on, baby. No more soiling yourself or soiling indoors. It's time to soil in appropriate places. Oh yeah. That's how you know you are pleasing the Father. just listening to some music, a group called Starcastle, which is a group from the 70s that pretty much patterned their sound and style on the group Yes. In fact, when you hear it, you're like, is this Yes? Because it sounds great. And it's just like, yeah, it's Starcastle. They're basically said, hey, we like the way Yes sounds, so we're going to write songs in that style. And to be honest with you, it's better than what what John Anderson or Yes has been doing recently. I still like it because it sounds like classic Yes instead of this other nonsense they get into. So why am I mentioning that? Because I'm trying to bring your attention to whatever it is you're doing, whatever you have your attention on. God always wants to speak to you in that place, because that's where you nurture the relationship. You don't nurture the relationship by, if I could just get through this day at work, when I get home, I'll read the Bible and pray for 15 minutes, and then I'll touch base with God and please Him. No. Everything needs to be done with Him. In fact, that's how you can tell if what you're doing is acceptable or not, or expedient. That's the word I was looking for before. Yeah. You can live your life doing permissible things because God's mercy is unending. But that's not much of a life. And you're not really growing by living in that level of just permissibility. You want to move into the realm of expediency. So, as far as listening to Starcastle, and yes, a few things come to mind. One is, the style of music is positive, energetic, diverse, surprising, imaginative. And all those characteristics are what we should be measuring in our relationship with God. On the downside, don't forget, there's always a paradox, baby. You gotta keep it razor sharp, honey. On the downside, you can get into a perspective of like, well, I can't enjoy this because it sounds too much like Yes. So how fresh is it? How original is it? And now you're over-analyzing a song that could be useful to you as a sort of a spark of positive energy and growth, because you're over-analyzing it. Oh yeah, baby. And the other caveat here is you want to discipline your choices to be in balance with your needs and God's will. And what I'm thinking is, you might like listening to Starcastle so much that in your 70-minute commute to work, you just listen to Starcastle because it's pleasant and you're enjoying it. And that might be okay, occasionally. You don't want to make that a habit, because now you're kind of relying on what you're feeling and creating for yourself, when God's ultimate will for you is to have ultimate pleasure in what He's doing in establishing His character in you. So it might be better to listen to Star Castle for 15 minutes, a half hour, and then leave the rest of the time to be quiet and listen for God's communication to you. That's going to be a firm foundation for you for the rest of the day.